Take a look at these images. It might not be immediately apparent, but the picture of those young women in miniskirts carrying books and bags, clearly in a university, was taken in 1970 in Iran. Of course, today we tend to think of Iranian women much more as those in the next picture, in the burqas taken in the last few years. What happened in between to account for the dramatic change between these two images of women in Iran? A right-wing government, of course. When the Taliban first came to power in Afghanistan, as a result of the support it got from the American government, its very first edict was to curtail the freedom and rights of women. No education, no leaving the house unless escorted by an older male family member, and so on.
You know, Giti, they say that when two bulls fight, only the grass suffers. Well, it seems as if when two superpowers fight, the first people to suffer are the women. And this is true of women around the world. As Malala Yousafzai tells us in the last image, her story is the story of girls everywhere. But her story is also the story of resistance. She refused to abide by the Taliban's ban on education for women and took her books and walked out into the streets to go to school. And that's when they shot her. And when she recovered, she went right back to using her voice for advocating education for women.
Yes, absolutely, Thomas. And look at these two images. These are taken in Chile during the Pinochet regime, and both are instances of how women resist the transformation of the nation into something that they do not agree with. The first picture is of a Chilean woman dancing alone, with a picture of her husband pinned to her dress. The dance is traditionally done with a male family member. It could be a father, a husband, brother, or son. But since these men had been imprisoned or killed by the Pinochet regime, the women performed the dance with pictures of their men. One way to keep the old Chile alive and to refuse to accept the disappearance of these men. The second picture is also from Chile, and these women are mothers and grandmothers of disappeared men and women, who march into the center of town with pictures of their loved ones, both in protest and in resistance to this new Chile that the Pinochet government represented. I think it's important to remember that women and men around the world continue to resist the redefining of the national image and space by powerful regimes and religious forces in their own countries.